Hello, this is Horror Studio One, and this is my unedited podcast. Hello, guys. How's everyone doing? Haven't done one of these podcasts in a long time, and listening to that intro, hello, everybody. This is Horror Studio One with the unedited podcast. Damn, that's a sexy-ass compressed vocal right there. I probably tuned it or something with my editing machine. Anyways, guys, this is HS1 coming to you live once again with something many of you guys enjoy, and I personally enjoy very much, but haven't done in a very long time, the unedited podcast. Yeah, how's everyone doing these days? Yeah, it's just for those people that are new to the YouTube channel, new as in have been subscribed for the past 6 months or less, this random ass video would be something very distinct to you, maybe. But for those individuals who have been here since hashtag throwback 2015, will know of these podcasts as one of the earlier things that I did on this YouTube channel. I've done about, I'm guessing, at least 50 of them already, but then I stopped for a while to focus more on the true scary stories videos, which have been working out for me at my YouTube channel. And it's something I enjoy, telling those stories as well. Now we're just back with one of these podcasts, and I feel kind of, I don't know, do I feel kind of rusty? Maybe a little bit, but overall, just happy to be able to share my thoughts with you guys. And our topic of today's discussion. Recently, I've been watching a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk, and then, just like to inspire myself, because as someone who does YouTube for a full time, you're kind of an entrepreneur as well. And what Gary V preaches a lot about, if you guys know who this person is he talks a lot about business, and he talks about motivation and how to create something for yourself through your passions and what you are good at, and knowing yourself. And what you're good at, and not living in a delusion. It's really themes that really kind of resonate with me personally. I love watching him. He talks a lot about businesses of the new age, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Uber. That kind of reminded me of, why not make a video about Uber for a podcast, because I do have some stuff to talk about it. And also I recently I received a email from one of my viewers who is also had a really crazy story with Uber, which I'm going to narrate and share with you guys in the upcoming, I guess, 10 minutes or so. But it's not a very long story. But before we get into that story, I just have some thoughts about Uber myself, because where I live actually is, I live in the Toronto area, and it's actually quite interesting. It is extremely popular in Toronto, and like many places in the world, probably. But the thing a lot of people don't know, or they disregard, is the fact that Uber is illegal. And in Toronto, actually, I'm not sure if that's the whole thing or just the town that I live in, but it is an illegal act. But like, everyone fucking does it. Like, everyone does it. Everyone uses Uber, and sometimes I do as well. Besides getting home at night sometimes when you're unable to drive, one of the things I do the most with Uber is it saves me time, because I have to basically grab my mom's car at work, and then I use the Uber ride to go to my mom's work. It's like $8, but it beats waking up like really early in the morning. So sometimes when I'm lazy, I just do spend the $8, and saves me a lot of time. And that's one thing that Uber can buy you, is time, I feel. My personal experiences with Uber have all been pretty good. I mean, I'm not a girl. I'm not a hot girl. So I don't have to really worry about any kind of dangers, I guess, because my mom, as a female, I guess, she has some worries about that, especially if it's like Uber pool, where you're pooling with other people besides your own Uber driver as well. And I've never really had any crazy stories. I use Uber pool quite a lot, actually, because it saves me a lot of money. One bad experience I had with Uber was I was taking an Uber, and then it was the first female driver I've gone, and she was of like Eastern European descent, and then her attitude was bad. That was it. All the other Uber drivers I've had, not a sexist, I don't know, all the other guy drivers I've had have all been really nice. It's just this one female older lady Uber driver who just kind of had an attitude, I guess. Maybe it was my face. I don't even know. Aside from that, all my other experiences with Uber have been pretty darn good and have saved me quite a lot of time and hassle as well. I sometimes even have great conversations with the Uber drivers, especially on like late nights in Toronto, trying to get back to my house. Like those are the best, you know, because I'm kind of buzzed, and then the Uber driver is like probably, you know, for you to drive on like a Friday night in the busy streets of downtown Toronto, you've got to have like some kind of it's more than just the money, in my opinion. A lot of them are really talkative, and they want to know a lot about you. So I've had some interesting trips taking Uber with myself. I feel that for Uber drivers or taxi drivers, I've had an experience where we were the horror stories, I feel. So I feel like the Uber driver should come up with Uber driver published horror stories where they write their worst encounters. Basically what happened was we went out drinking with a couple of friends, and then my friend basically we were, you know, they were really drunk. I don't know why. We all kind of drank the same amount. Maybe someone roofied them, but they're all guys. So it was a guy friend of mine, and we were, you know, in the back of this taxi cab. And it was basically like, it was like those van taxi cabs, and me and my friend, we had like five people. Me and my really drunk friend were in the back seat, the most back seat, at the very back, and then he was like really drunk, like he needed a bag over his head kind of thing. And then we were trying to grab the bag for this guy, and then my friend just grabbed my hand, and we held hands, and it was like, you know, when you're drunk, a lot of these emotions come out. And I'm guessing my friend was going to be like, yeah, man, you're a great friend. You're a brother to me. You're my best friend. Ugh! And then he vomited on my hand. So he was holding my hand. I thought we were just going to be like holding each other's grip, but he just fucking just vomited like wet. Like I can feel his intestines on my hand. And then it was all over this taxi driver's like floor. And then we basically had to pay like 3 times the price just because of that for the guy to clean it up. So yeah, that was, you know, just, it's not all bad Uber drivers, it's bad passengers. I feel that happened a lot, and we were one of them basically. So all in all my experiences with Uber have been pretty darn good. One thing is I've had some friends who are female who have wanted to become Uber drivers themselves, and that's why when I always think about that female Uber driver of European, Eastern European descent that I had, I kind of feel that was kind of weird because it is kind of dangerous, especially if you're a girl and you have like your face and your profile pic on the app, the Uber app. So people, if they really want to get you, they send you some far-off location in like the desolate woods or something. I mean, may not be a lot of those in Toronto, but there definitely are places like that. Get you alone, and then 5 guys jump out, you're done, you know? So I feel for girls to become Uber drivers, it is more of a danger, and it's not necessary because there's other ways to make money. I've had a friend of me wanted to do Uber together, but yeah, that's fell through. I mean, that's how plans are, I guess, a lot of times, unless they're with yourself, which what I've learned from watching a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk videos is yeah, you have to stay motivated, even if your friends are losers. So that's what I realized, and I guess from doing YouTube as well, doing daily videos has motivated me to do a lot of stuff more efficiently, I guess. So without further ado, I'm going to narrate this story from a viewer of mine who likes my videos, who actually also consequently lives in the same exact location I do. I'm guessing in not completely the same part, but really close. But I'm just gonna have a sip of tea, and then I will narrate this story, hopefully without any mistakes. Uber horror story. I just want to say, I loved your channel. and wanted to share an Uber horror story that happened to me last year if you ever do something on that thread again. So, this is a story that happened to me about 1 year ago. It might not be that terrifying compared to some of the other horror stories you can find online, but I must admit, I was pretty scared while it was happening. I am from Toronto, where Uber is extremely popular. I myself take Ubers to go just about everywhere. I have had multiple encounters with creepy taxi drivers in the past, but it took about 300 Uber rides before finding a truly disturbing Uber driver. About 7:30 p.m., I ordered my Uber pool to go to a grocery store about 10 minutes away by car. For those unfamiliar with Uber Pool, it is simply a function available on Uber within certain cities where you can save 30 to 40% by pooling with other Uber drivers going the same direction than you. Sometimes you are the only rider. Sometimes the Uber will do multiple pickups and drop-offs. That night, I happened to be the only rider. When I first got into the Uber, no red flags went off and everything was pretty normal. The Uber driver, which was a mid-50s Indian man, seemed pleasant. Just like a lot of other drivers, he made small talk about the weather, the country, etc. He asked me a few regular questions, such as where I'm from, age, how I like the Maple Leafs and Blue Jays. He then proceeded to tell me he thinks I'm beautiful, to which I replied thank you to, in a polite yet dry way, which clearly being absorbed in playing with my cell phone. Once we reached the destination, he asked me if I needed him to wait for me so he can drop me back off. I declined, as I told him I would most likely be in the store for 45 minutes to 1 hour. I shopped for about 45 to 50 minutes and ordered another Uber pool home, waiting on the entrance of the store that would be at the opposite end to where my previous Uber dropped me off. To my surprise, I got the same Uber driver, and although I had been in the store for about 45 minutes, he had not moved from the location where he dropped me off. This gave me a bad feeling, but being tired, I decided to ignore the major red flag. When he picked me back up, he did a terrible acting job at pretending to be surprised as well. He then explained that he takes care of his mother and that she lived right by the store, therefore he went to visit her and got back here to get more Uber rides. Okay. This time around, he was a lot more personal with the questions and asked if I have a boyfriend. I confirmed I did. He asked if we had an open relationship, and I said absolutely not. He asked if I had been to Muskoka and Wasaga Beach. For those not from Toronto and surroundings, those places are up north, maybe 3-hour drive, where Toronto people go to relax in cottages in the summertime. I replied that I had, and it is a very serene place. He then suggested we drive up to Muskoka together that very night. I laughed it off thinking it was a joke, but he was serious. I tried to explain how I did have a boyfriend, and he would not like that I would go up to the north with a pure stranger. He said it's okay to have a friend, and we are not strangers, since we talked in the first Uber ride, and it is destiny that he got me as a rider twice in one night. This is when I started being seriously freaked out. I did not find it easy to be mean to people, even when they deserve it fully. Which is why I didn't just say fuck off. The whole ride back home, he was pretty much telling me we have to be friends, and how he'll rent a luxury cottage for us to get to know each other on Airbnb as soon as he pulls over. Proceeded to tell me he's not expecting any sex. When we arrived to my condo building, he pulled over right by the entrance, locked the door, and turned around in his seat to talk to me like we're old friends. I asked him to unlock the door, and he just shook his head no. Not wanting to upset him, I made up a lie and said that my boyfriend and I were going on a trip in 2 days and that I could not leave. This did not work, and he simply told me we could only go there for the night. I tried to be more aggressive to tell him off and told him once more that not only are we strangers, but that he is also a few years older than my father. So I do not really understand what we'll be doing or talk about, since the age difference is major. This seems to struck a chord, and he started to look pissed off. After a few seconds, he told me I am ungrateful and have to accept people's friendship when they offer it, because otherwise I will be miserable and alone for the rest of my life. He composed himself and smiled. He then said, "Don't worry. I don't want sex. You'll have a great time in Muskoka." Thinking quick on my feet, I remembered all the crime shows I watched and tried something different. I told him, "You know what? You're right. I will go to Muskoka, but I have tons of grocery and some are for my roommates. They're expecting them today, so I'll have to go and give them those bags first. I also have a pack of few items, but you can get my phone number through the app and call me back in 1 hour so we can leave." This answer seemed to please him, and he immediately locked the door. Since I had all my grocery bags with me on the back seat, I just grabbed all of them and sped walk inside. The concierge was advised to never let this man come inside the building. I went home and contacted the Uber customer service for the matter. I had to tell my story to many customer service reps, and I hope he never drove an Uber again. So, mid-50s Indian Uber driver that tried to kidnap a 25-year-old girl. Let's not meet. I'm sorry, how do you spell that word? Concierge. Yes. So you guys always say I mispronounce words. I apologize for that. Put it in the comments below. How do you pronounce that word? Like, damn it, I suck at that. But anyways, wow. What the heck, dude? Crazy story. That guy was very, a lot of people do it for that purpose, I feel. Like, to pick up girls. I've had a few friends, like, we were, like, talking about that. Like, man, you know how easy that would be, like, on a Saturday night or something? I mean, not, like, try to, like, harass them, but, like, just to make friends. I mean, in connections in general, Uber is quite easy, I feel. More so than taxi, but yeah, that was just too far, man. And Toronto to Muskoka is not close, and if it's nighttime, it's kind of weird, anyways. So yeah, if you guys know how that word is spelled or pronounced, Concierge. Not very educated. I apologize, but put in the comments below, and thank you for this Uber horror story from my subscriber. So if you guys have any idea what that word is, I know what it is, I just never knew how to say it. Or you have your own true scary Uber story, put it in the comments below, and yeah, maybe I'll make another video about really narrating, like an actual video, Uber horror stories from the internet or something like that. So yeah, thank you guys for staying tuned with the live podcast, and hopefully I'll be doing a live very soon, or doing more of these podcasts as well, because yeah, this is a great feeling, just saying whatever you want. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys soon, and have a great day. Bye.